But let's be honest here. Without Luis Diaz, Liverpool it's just pool now.
Pool.
It's just pool. They don't got the liver. They just pool.
Took out the insides.
And it's not even like a good pool. It's like a kiddie's pool. You know. But
yeah.
But honestly, I feel for Jurgen, you know.
Yeah.
I feel for Jurgen because he's getting exposed as a fraud now.
Yeah, and there are many fans who want Jurgen to lose his job. We know how that usually goes if Jurgen loses his job. We know who usually takes over at every job he's ever done. I don't know if Liverpool fans will be okay with Thomas Tuchel, but it's the trend. One word on Liverpool. One word on Liverpool without Diaz. When they sold Mane, I knew Mane wanted to go off a couple of years before that. And when he was sold, they bought Darwin Nunez, but that was to replace Firmino if he left. I actually thought they were going to go out and get Danjuma or Kingsley Coleman to replace Sadio Mane, and they didn't. They trusted what they had. They didn't look at the further future. They only looked at the here and now. Now Diaz is out. Are you going to play Jota on the left? He was horrendous on the weekend. You can't play Firmino on the left because he has no pace to get in behind Kyle Walker. Well, Walker's not playing, so it is João Cancelo. He has no chance then. Nunez is a bit of a hothead. We know who's going to get into his head. You know how Ruben Diaz and Manuel Akanji can be, even Nathan Ake. Liverpool right now, need the World Cup more than ever. They need the World Cup more than anybody else because they need to fix what's going on. They won't have the transfer window. They'll have a couple of games then in January, but they need the World Cup to go and to have the transfer window to try and get another midfielder because you can't play two midfielders against Arsenal, believe me. You can't go 4-2-4 at the Emirates and expect to get anything.
Honestly. And against a team that's in form, like, you can't really expect anything else once you're out of form, you know. Just gotta hope and pray that that's the week when their form finally runs out and end, but at this point you can't see that happening.
Yeah, man. Just the final point of this segment. CR700. Cristiano's hit 700 goals. Oh, shut up. He's hit 700 goals in about 943 games. Club games, that is. And that is fantastic. That is fantastic. I saw a stat over the weekend where someone said if Haaland plays until he's 38, he would need to bag about 43 goals per season just to equal Ronaldo's 699. That was the day before he hit 700. So right now, if Ronaldo keeps scoring, Haaland's going to need to play for another year. And even with his talent, 43 goals a season is not that easy. I mean, believe me, I remember when Messi hit 91 goals a season. Haaland's not touching that. Ronaldo's hit 77. Haaland's not touching that. Lewandowski hits 86. Haaland's not touching that. You got to know, there are some things that he may not be able to do. They say he's going for the goal records. But who's? Fernando Torres. Peter Crouch. I mean, he's good. But to have 700 goals in 943 club games, it's fantastic. It's just superhuman.
Honestly, like, I'll credit where credit is due, to be honest. Like, he is an excellent player, but how does that affect Messi's legacy?
How does Messi get into this? Is why this is why there's so much toxicity right now. Why is Messi being? No one's mentioning Messi.
No, alright. I'm just saying that just for banter. I'm just saying this literally just for banter. But Messi played 100 odd plus games less and he's still at 691 club goals. Let that sink in. And he's been a right winger or a playmaker for most of his career. But anyway,
he was a centre forward under Pep.
Amazing. It's an absolutely amazing feat from Cristiano Ronaldo. Surely proves why he is the second greatest of our generation.
Hey, some people don't think he's top 5.
He's an incredible player. Only second to the greatest of all time, being Lionel Messi.
I always say it. You see, I always will choose Ronaldo because with Messi, I see it's God-given talent, and Ronaldo, it's just hard work. So I'm gonna go with the guy who has hard work instead of the guy who's talented and is expected to do this. That's just me. Oh come on, Messi! You look at Messi. Messi is the most talented player since Ronaldinho, and that is big. Ronaldo is not talented. He's not as talented. That's what makes it bigger.
Cristiano Ronaldo isn't better than Ronaldinho.
No, he's not.
Right?
By talent, no. I mean, no one's going to ever say it because he's got more goals, because nowadays all the kids talk about is stats.
Because if you're talking about stats, Messi blows Cristiano out of the water anyways.
I'll not touch on that because we don't have that type of time for an argument. We already spoke before this of how we wanted this to go. We're not going to drag this out further. Quick note: Forest won, Villa won, Ashley Young great goal, but Steven Gerrard another poor result against a team they're expected to beat. Is it time for the Scouser to go? I know your feelings on Gerrard, so is it time for the Scouser to leave Villa Park?
No, I don't think so. Like, we need more Steven Gerrards in this league. Honestly, Forest, I'm so proud of them. They finally got a positive result after so long. It makes me so happy. Honestly though, it was a lackluster performance from Villa. Young, amazing goal, to be honest. But I think that they can still be the self relief for Gerrard, because it's not necessarily a bad run of form for him. He hasn't been playing badly at all compared to the start of the season. I think Gerrard is safe for now, to be completely honest. Right? All I'm saying, Steve Cooper, best manager in the Premier League. No questions asked. Just roll.
The best manager we're here in the Premier League.
Yes, we finally got a point.
Right after he signed a new contract, he got you something.
Hey yo, that contract's worth every single penny.
Hey, you know
Hopefully
what?
we can do that 38 more times for the season.
Hey, you just need about 30, 35, 36 points to survive. You got about 6. So just win a few more games later on this season and you're good. You know, beat Bournemouth.
Some charity work, you know. Hey, any United fan, anybody, when we play against Forest, yeah, just give them the win. Right?
Oh hell no!
Right, yeah,
Oh hell no! That's when the De Gea Dean Henderson debate gonna start again. They're gonna say, oh, if Dean was in goal instead of De Gea, they would have won.
Just play Tom Heaton.
Bloody Heaton.
Yeah.
Heaton's actually vice captain.
Exactly. We do well.
Oh,
We hold the Gea debate, right? Forest get 3 points. United lose to the best team in England, so it's not that bad. So it's all good.
Oh boy.
It's all good.
Alright.
The only thing that makes this better is if Scott Parker was sipping tea with the king when it happened.
Oh my god. Hey, man, we go take a quick break. Final question. Quick close-ended, simple thing. I know Haaland scored in his first 8 games straight. Anthony, first Man United player to score in his first 3 Premier League games in the history of the club. If he scores in his first 8, will the media do the same, or is it just for Haaland?
I think the media may hype him up the same. When you consider that Haaland has been bagging hat-tricks and all that better goals, though, I think they'll hype up Haaland more than they hype up Anthony. But, you know, the guys on the radar, the streets will never forget.
Streets will never forget. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Welcome back, you savages, to the GZ Sport Transfer Roundup. For those who are new, this is essentially the segment of the program where I take a look at the latest in football in action as it relates to the transfer department in and around the top 5 leagues in Europe, as well as sometimes possibly getting it from outside. To dive straight in, right? I have a quick question to ask. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, obviously a top player, did amazing with Barcelona last season. Not doing too shabby with Chelsea as it stands right now. He's actually saved them on multiple occasions this season, right? In my opinion, he's a really good player. PSG are showing a lot of interest in Pierre. I know, I get it, he's a class player, but why though? He's like 32, 33 years old, and he won't start over Mbappe, Messi, or Neymar, right? So what makes him think that he'll trade Stamford Bridge for the Parc des Princes if he's not going to get any game time? It's not going to be the number one striker, especially for someone of his name. Do you see this deal going through? And if it does, what position do you think, or what role do you think he'll play at Paris?
Well, honest opinion, I don't think this deal will have any legs to it. I think this is just paper talk mostly. Pierre just went to Chelsea. I don't think if PSG was on his radar that he would decide to join Chelsea and then move in January or next summer for little to no money. Why would he go to Paris? Well, money is one thing. I mean, he'll play alongside Messi, Neymar. That's another. They will have a deep Champions League run, hopefully. But making sense of it, no, I don't think it should. It should make sense. It shouldn't make any sense at all. This is purely paper talk. Nothing from France.
All right. Well, I mean, there you have it from Jackson. Personally, I agree with you. Why would he leave Chelsea after just leaving Barcelona? He started to put Barcelona. Financial reasons led him out of the club. Why would he, in his right mind, have joined Chelsea when he knows that when he probably was not aware of, technically, in the circumstance, that Paris were vying for a signature? But honestly, I can probably see him going if they offer the right amount. Right? Moving on to a player that a lot of people, I'd say personally, think he's underrated. But the man I'm talking about is Brozovic, the central defensive midfielder from Inter Milan, has been linked with a multitude of Premier League clubs, including the likes of West Ham, Newcastle, Aston Villa, Everton, and shocker, Chelsea, who has been linked with apparently everyone so far. Brozovic, Marcel, is an amazing player, right? He's done absolute bits in the midfield at Inter, right? Easily one of the top 10 CDMs possibly on the planet right now. Overall, do you see him making a move to the Premier League? We know he's not getting any younger, and this may be his only chance to shine in the greatest league on the planet. Can you see him trading, say, the blue of Milan for the blue of London, or say the blue from Merseyside? Can you see that happening?
Well, for Brozovic, it was rumored he would have joined Spurs. That was when Conte was there in the January window. That fell through. There was contract issues with him and Inter. He was rumored to joining, surprise, surprise, Man United. That was paper talk again. Will Brozovic leave Inter? Well, I think he'll be weighing up his options. He's in arguably the form of his life since the World Cup, so he could be looking at a route out of Inter. Could be looking at some more fulfilling football. I mean, he's won the Scudetto. He's been one of the best holding midfielders in the league for some time now. Maybe he'll make a step, maybe to the Premier League. I mean, you look at Newcastle, who would love for Guimaraes to continue doing what he did on the weekend. So a holding midfielder would be great.